spent the last couple of weeks testing out the most popular legal performance enhancers so that you guys don't have to. And I guarantee that the last one in this video is one that you probably already use. And I've just got off the phone with the World Athletic Doping Agency, and they've confirmed that all of these substances are legal for park runs. So all of us weekend warriors are safe. So number one is really good in a burger, but it's also really good at helping you smash your 5K personal best, Beetroots. But more specifically, beetroot powder, unless you really like beetroots and you fancy having like 30 a day. Beetroots contain a large amount of nitrates, which are compounds that are metabolized in your body into nitric oxide. So here's how it works. Nitric oxide affects two key aspects in your body. The first is by playing a role in vascular tone, or how dilated a blood vessel actually is, which directly correlates to how much blood is being supplied into a certain area of your body. The second is that it plays a massive role in the upregulation of oxygen consumption by your mitochondria. That's right, the powerhouse of the cell. So mechanistically, it makes sense, but in reality, does it actually improve running performance? Yes, and I'm gonna explain why. For endurance runners, it's been shown to improve running economy by 5%. That's more than the Nike Vaporfly 4%. That's like a 96% money saving for the same performance outcome. And when our running economy improves, it means that we run at the same speed for less energy. Nitrates have also been shown to improve your time to exhaustion, meaning that you're able to go further before lactate starts to rapidly build up in your body. As shown by this study comparing nitrates to a placebo supplement, they found that the lactate levels were lower in the nitrate group, meaning that they weren't having to push as hard. And the nitrate group also had marginally better race performances over a 10K distance. And after using this for a couple of weeks, I found this great for recovery after my runs each day. To me, it felt like I woke up feeling better and better each day. And it's likely that my relative effort in each workout was reducing as my nitrate level was getting higher in my blood. But I didn't notice any actual changes in my workouts during the 2-week period. And this may be because the sessions that I'm doing aren't actually that hard at the moment, because I'm in a base building phase. But we will definitely continue to smash beetroot powder through the summer, won't we? And for $10 at the local shops, this is pretty good value for money, considering the performance benefits. And it honestly does not taste too bad in a smoothie or even on its own. So this one is a win for me, go buy it. Now this second performance enhancer is also a powder, but a white powder, not that one. We are talking about sodium bicarbonate, or bicarb soda for you bakers out there. Now to explain this one, we have to talk a little bit more about how your body produces energy for movement. The systems in our body use many complex chemical reactions to produce energy for our body. And there are two byproducts at the end of this, lactate and hydrogen ions. A hydrogen ion is a hydrogen left over after a chemical reaction when pyruvate was torn apart to produce lactate and energy. This hydrogen ion can cause havoc in our muscles because it's acidic as it has an electric charge. So that's the biochemistry, but let's look at the actual chemistry to see what's going on. Geez, I haven't looked at this stuff in years. Bicarbonate is used as a buffer in our body to neutralize acidic environments. And when we're pushing really hard at the end of a session or a race, our muscles start to work anaerobically as we continue to run at that same pace. The bicarbonate neutralizes the acidic properties of the hydrogen ions to maintain a good intramuscular environment for performance. So as well as it's been a great ingredient for cupcakes, it's also a great ingredient for running really fast. Now it's safe to say that this performance enhancer works the best in situations where there's massive lactate buildups. So this supplement will be great to take on race day, providing that you've not gone through the same issues that I have that I'm about to explain. And just a few things to know, this can cause gastrointestinal issues, and with me, it did. So what I would recommend, and what I ended up actually doing, is taking it later in the day after dinner, where it's not gonna impact your running too much. And I'd also recommend not trying all of these new products all at the same time, because you're gonna have issues like me. But we live and we learn. But once again, this one is cheap and easy to access. And I'd suggest starting with a low dose and working your way up to a higher dose over time. But another alternative is to take a slightly higher dose before a race to get the benefits of it without having to supplement it regularly. Also, if you have any cool baking recipes, let me know in the comments below. This next drug can be a huge performance enhancer, but it can also be a massive performance diminisher, depending on how much you take and how often. Let me explain. Caffeine is one of the most common performance enhancers, thanks to how well it improves our mental clarity and focus, our sense of energy, as well as our reduction in pain when exercising. And caffeine works by blocking adenosine receptors in the brain. Adenosine generally builds up throughout the day as we stay awake in the areas of the brain that are important for arousal, concentration, and alertness, and eventually reach the threshold in the brain to stimulate an extreme sense of tiredness. So caffeine is basically hacking your brain to not know when it actually needs to rest. Caffeine intake for runners is well documented in improving overall performance and time to exhaustion, and it has been reported to have a 1% time improvement over a 5-kilometer distance. So this means that if you normally run a 20-minute 5K, if you were to take caffeine the next week, you would probably run a 1945 or a 1950, which is basically free speed. So from personal experience, caffeine is really good. I find it much easier to fully commit in a race when I have that mental edge that caffeine gives me. But on a day-to-day basis, I'm not sure caffeine is the best idea. This is because caffeine has a half-life of 7 hours, meaning that after you consume it, in 7 hours time, half that dose of caffeine is still affecting your body. So it's pretty unlikely that caffeine won't be affecting your sleep. And the cumulative effects of this over time can definitely limit your recovery. Adenosine plays a huge role in how much REM sleep we get each night. So this is probably a miss for me on a daily basis, and probably you too. And I knew this going into the experiment, so I made sure that I only took caffeine on parkrun days or hard session days to make sure that I wasn't impacting my recovery. So I would suggest saving caffeine for race day when you need to fully send it. Just make sure you don't take too much, otherwise you're gonna need to go to the toilet 50 times. Now, before we talk about this next performance enhancer, we have to give a shout out to a couple of notable mentions. The first one is carbon-plated shoes. Is it a drug? No, but it is a performance enhancer, so I'm throwing it in this video anyways. But I'm a massive fan, and it definitely enhances my running performance as much as some of the substances in this video. Creatine is also a huge performance enhancer, but for longer and longer distances, it becomes more and more irrelevant. There's also a subsection of the population that actually get water retention with creatine, so it may not be the best for you. Beta-alanine is an amino acid that's used across many different sports and has that signature tingling when consumed. It actually helps with muscular endurance in high intensity exercise and is a real serious performance enhancer. Though I must say that itchy feeling that you get when you take beta-alanine is not good when you're out on a run. Though I'm sure it would really help if I was in fight or flight mode getting chased by a lion or something. Ketone IQ is a new trend in the space, claiming big benefits in endurance performance. But I'll be honest, I'm pretty skeptical. The premise behind this is that the ketones will actually fuel your brain during high intensity exercise, allowing you to stay more mentally focused for longer. They also claim that the ketones will actually spare glycogen during exercise. But I'll be honest, this stuff is really expensive, and I'd rather just have some caffeine if I really want to have that mental edge. And I'd also rather just have this next product if I wanted to improve my racing performance. Okay, the next performance enhancer, sugar. Without sugar, you simply can't reach your potential as a runner. And if we look at the best runners in the world, at the biggest races, they're smashing in the sugar every 20 minutes to make sure that they're reaching their potential. And you should too. Now, sugar comes in many forms, but the primary ingredient that our body uses is glucose. Glucose regulates our blood sugar, but it also gets stored in our muscles for us to use during exercise. Sugar is digested so quickly and is shuttled straight into your muscles after only a few minutes of ingestion, and that's why it's the best performance enhancer. You could be using all of these performance enhancing drugs and maybe even some illegal ones, but if you had no sugar, after about 90 minutes, you'd be running as fast as a novice athlete. So guys, make sure to get your sugar in. But how do you do this? And most importantly, how do you do it in a race? Well, most people use running gels to make sure they're topping off their muscle glycogen in a race. And I recently reviewed the best running gels for racing in this next video. So quick, go click on it.